The position of governor will probably have, it'll be a race, I think that'll be, as I said, one of the most highly contested races here in the state. Housing is, I think, a key component. In this economy, as you know, housing has played an integral part, both in the downturn of the economy and in the uptick of the economy. In fact, we actually peg our economy on housing starts in this country. A key component that has faced many individuals, both on the positive and negative side. In this downturn economy, we have seen housing foreclosures skyrocket. We have seen the lack of housing development affect economies across the state. And so the issue of housing policy and housing development, I think, is critical for the next governor. Gentlemen, we appreciate you being here tonight. This is the first ever forum, Gubernatorial Forum, focused entirely on housing and community development. And we appreciate your presence here. As you know, the Housing Alliance for over the last decade has played a lead role in shaping housing policy, pushing for new resources for housing and community revitalization initiatives.
To the best of my knowledge, 38 states have adopted a housing trust fund. And it certainly is a good idea for Pennsylvania. Anything that can promote home ownership, anything that can promote investments in homes, anything that can keep people in their homes is a good government policy. And is something that the future governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has to be an advocate of. It's investing in communities in all aspects and all programs that come out of state government. And I have made sure as Auditor General that the programs that help homeowners work. And I'll give you a couple examples. The LIHEAP program, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, the HEMAP program.
Jack just mentioned the whole long list of programs. But if I look down the road and further down the road here, where we're headed as a state, I notice that all of those programs have to be cut back this year. Why can't they afford that house? Part of the fact that a lot of our inner cities, the companies have gone.
I have been an advocate for many years now for the eliminating of school property taxes.
Eliminate property tax for schools, which is the first step, is that you move that to a sales tax. Municipal services and county governments, if they had the option to take an additional increase on sales and personal income tax locally, all of our counties could replace up to 1% of PIT, up to 1% of SUT, sales tax. They could replace all of their local property taxes. It would do wonders for this Commonwealth.
We definitely should establish a state housing trust fund. It would give us the opportunity to capture money from the federal housing trust fund, so we can, at the get-go, have funds to put into that state housing trust fund. It would give us the opportunity to organize programs, consolidate funding sources. We would need, I think, a dedicated funding source for a sustainable program moving forward. That could be a piece of the realty transfer tax. It could be document recording fee. In Oregon, they've got a creative way of funding their housing trust fund. I think we need to step forward. 38 states, as Jack said, have already done this. We are way behind the curve.
Onorato has definitely sent me with a clear message that he is in support of a statewide affordable housing trust fund or a housing trust fund, and knows that the investment in home ownership is a critical component to all of our economy. He also knows that there needs to be a dedicated funding stream by which to do it. In counties, it's not a matter of there's just not enough money. We have the ability for affordable housing trust funds in our counties, and what we're seeing from a county commissioner's perspective is a huge surge, coupled with some of the incentives that are being provided from the federal level in folks asking to participate in that closing finance and the ability for them to capitalize on that $5,000 in closing costs for them to be able to meet that final signing of the dotted line to be able to own their own homes. And ultimately, we need to be able to, from a state perspective, to start to be able to identify those resources or a dedicated funding stream to be able to address that from a statewide perspective.
Very simple, it should be funded, but why? Why are you for it? Well, we know the obvious reasons. We want people the opportunity to own their homes. But it's good business for cities and towns. It's good business when people have stock and ownership in their neighborhoods. Giving them the opportunity to own something means it gives them worth, but also helps stabilize neighborhoods. As Ed and I know as mayors, we're often challenged in certain neighborhoods. How do we bring them back? And through housing, you make a difference. I believe people choose where they want to live first. There's often the question, is it the job or is it the home? People want to be defined on where they live, what city and what town. Am I a Scrantonian? Am I from Allentown? And from that, you build a community. If a community, if a state is willing to invest and help those people, the first time to own a home, to help those people to lease the property, that's it's kept up to code and it's well maintained. That gives them a sense of pride.